All right, ladies and gents, good day one and all. Welcome. How are we all doing? Alrighty guys, let's get this show on the road. As always, good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening, no matter where we are around the world. Once again, welcome to another edition of the London session. Hope you're all doing well, guys. Looking forward to seeing what we can come up with moving forward here today. Gold in a bit of a pullback phase at the minute. We'll obviously do the analysis on the gold. We'll also do the analysis on any other pair as per request. So if you have any charts or any questions at all, please feel free to pop those into the chat and I'll get to you guys shortly. In the meantime, guys, please, if you can, don't forget YouTube. Very important that you guys help me out by hitting that like button. So if you can quickly just do that, take a moment out of your time just to hit that like button. And TikTok, for those of you on the stream already, if you could please hit that screen for me so we get the numbers onto the stream. Anyway, guys, as I mentioned, if you have questions, charts, make sure to pop those into the chat. Meantime, let's have a look at the news. Let's see what we have moving forward in regards to the news here today. We've had high impact news for the Aussie dollar. Hasn't seemed to have done much to the Aussie dollar anyway, but it came out the reading for the official monetary policy and the cash rate as per the previous, so they're not likely to cut anytime soon. Moving forward, we have some high impact news. I would consider this to be high impact, even though they've got listed here as orange folder, with the president of the ECB, Christine Lagarde, speaking in about 50 minutes from now, roughly. So we'll need to keep an eye on that for anyone trading the euro and maybe even the pound. It may have some sort of impact on that. Also speaking again a few hours later, not sure why there's two different speeches at two separate times into the MY session. Nothing listed high impact, but once again, guys, as we do know, need to be wary of anything that could break at any moment in time. But anyway, guys, enough of that. Without further ado, let's get into the analysis and let's have a look at the gold. Let's have a good one, team. Starting with the gold. Once again, we're starting on that weekly time frame to begin, and what we can see is we are forming a bearish candle. The previous candle did close back bearish as well. So again, off just the actual candles themselves, we are bearish based off that. Structure is definitely bullish, still in a big strong uptrend in my opinion on the higher time frame picture though. Onto the daily. Previous daily closed back a doji indecision candle. So what usually follows off the back of that is if we were to break the high of it, then there's high probability we could in fact continue bullish and perhaps break above the resistance of that on the daily here, that 4,048 to 50 sort of region. However, if we were to begin to break the low of that previous daily candle, that could also lead to a bigger sell-off and a potential retest of 39.30 roughly. So we're going to mark in the current the previous daily candles low, and we're going to see what we've got below that point there. Current daily obviously forming bearish onto the 4-hour time frame here, and structurally that does also remain bearish. And once again, the bias at this stage is bearish, but once again, what we need to do is ask ourselves, where are we in regards to levels on the chart? Because it doesn't make much sense to sell it into a strong support. Off the back of that, knowing that we've got still really strong uptrend on the weekly time frame, irrespective of the candles themselves, would we look for possible buys at, again, a key level, a strong level of support on the higher time frame here? So we're going to mark in resistance. We're going to mark in just the most recent for the time being. I know we've got levels just above it. Support, well, we're at a 4-hour level just now. This wick is a bullish candle. So what we're going to do is go down to the 15. We'll mark in the support based on that. All right, and I'm just going to use this level. I had the exact same level marked in yesterday, if you guys remember, and look at that, we've literally tapped in and bounced off it. So as I mentioned, not necessarily the best moment to sell it would have been to sell into that level, and we are bouncing off it, creating a bit of a pullback. The structure here on the 15-minute time frame is also bearish. So in regards to short-term trading perspective, we are bearish across the board here, guys, on the gold. So therefore, at the minute, I would look for, not right now, I mean, don't get me wrong, not saying right now, not right in the minute, but my preference moving forward today would be to look for some sell options. So here are those options. First of all, guys, obviously we've just created the Asian range low. also created the high earlier into today. So if price was to come back up and even sweep the high, or not necessarily sweep it, but retest this resistance and begin to reject, then I would look for a potential opportunity to take a sell back down towards the current daily candles low. So sells below that point there on the gold. Further options would be the good thing is I like the way we're bouncing off this support, like the fact that we're creating a clean move up. So let's just say we were to reject a little bit lower down, guys, we could have a potential, again, if we have the confirmation of lower high forming, then really it's just a matter of looking for a sell so long as we have the margin back down anywhere below this resistance. So we could, again, it could pull up at previous support and have a little interruption. The delayed interruption, not my favorite entry, but technically is a valid entry, but I'm gonna personally wait to see how price reacts and wait for a confirmation of resistance forming. So for me, I'm just gonna actually adjust this zone a little bit now to most recent support. Basically just looking for the pullback sells, guys. If you did happen to get into buys from lower down, fantastic, looking pretty good. I was off the chart at that point, so did not actually pick up on that, but potentially I reckon I would have looked for an entry based off the 5-minute and the 15-minute long wick rejections twice into this 4-hour zone. So potentially would have looked for a buy at that point, but for the time being, guys, I'm just looking for the sells. Buys, now let's talk about the buy options. For me, it's a matter of coming back down and just trading the range. So if price was to come back down towards the lows of the 4-hour support, once again, form a catalyst similar, not necessarily the same as what we got here, but something, you know, which provides me a signal from that level, and I would also consider my buy options from the support back around that 39.73 to 39.70 sort of region. So that is currently my plan moving forward on the gold here today, guys. Hopefully that makes sense. Pretty simple one. So we're just gonna that back in, and yeah, above the high running into more resistance, so it's going to be a little bit tricky above the current daily or the Asian range high. So let's just see, guys. Anyway, and that is my opinion of the gold. Make of that what you will. Either way, don't forget, hit like button and smash that screen for those of you on TikTok. Let's move on to GJ. Partner settings and members group, and it's popping into a level clean area of traffic. What I did want to see prior to it was price triggering some buys. It's doing it just now. So now that it's done so, then what the entry you could be looking at is potentially below the support. So if price was to begin to now pop below the support formed most recently at the current daily candles low, is the Asian range low as well, and at that point there, I think there'd be some pretty solid options to look for a sell to take it back down towards the bottom of the 4-hour support. So towards the 4-hour support at 201 flat, that would be an entry, it's a good target for GJ. Otherwise I'd be looking for pullback sells. It is very bearish. You got weekly forming a strong bearish candle. We've got daily low high low low. It's engulfing that previous daily. Has tapped into support though, so has tapped into a bit of a target. 4-hour also bearish in structure and candle probabilities here. So to me, it's still actually, it's no, it is bearish. Definitely is bearish. Yeah, definitely keen on, for me, looking for sell options either upon the pullback or if price breaks, it begins to pop below the low of the day. GU range bound mess, similar idea to GJ though. I'd be looking for sell options preferably upon the pullback. Otherwise, it's actually more similar to gold. Sorry, if it did pop back down to support, then it would make sense to look for buys from support. But whilst it's chopping about and consolidating, there is no entries within this range whatsoever. It really needs to create a clean move down or up through this mess, and then look for an opportunity either side of it. So that is my opinion quickly on GU. And last but not least, EU. So it's broken above a resistance. A bit up to the upside, it's at a 4-hour level. So yeah, EU, I'd rather wait for pullback buys or support to form from the current level, and if price was to begin to pop below the support, so look a little bit like so, then we have made a clean move up. There's a good chance it could make a clean move back down. So that is my opinion of EU. Also, further options below the current daily candles low, you can see some very clean traffic to the left. In fact, I don't think I have the data going back that far. So that's a quick market wrap up, guys. Where obviously my focus is on the gold. Did it tap into the interruption? Not quite. I doubt you would have been triggered in, because no, it's not quite tapped in. This is an entry I'm testing, so this is the delayed interruption. The interruption, the IC entry we call it. The continuation one is one of my favorite entries. This is the delayed cluster. Just to add to it, it's called the cluster interruption entry. Not quite tapped in, but very close to it. Alright guys, how are we? Ladies, gents, one and all, boys and girls. Franco, Tony Gold, Zach, Bartman, Tommy Jordan, Carl. Looking for similar sells in gold? Nice one. And Scrith, welcome. Lau, good day to you, welcome. On to the tickety talk, how are we guys? Thank you to the couple new followers. Let me have a look at the chat, see if I've missed anything. Paro, where's the best day trading site? Day trading site? In regards to what? TradingView is the site I use to chart to do my analysis on. You gotta be a little bit more specific in regards to what executing trades or analyzing trade. I have no idea what you're on about. Jack Master GU, what do you think? Went over it. Bearish, but it's in consolidation, so there's nothing at the minute. I'd like to see it actually pop up and break the Asian range high, only to pop back below it for sell options, or make a clean move down. So if we had consecutive bearish candles into the 4-hour support here, and then prices to bounce off it, I'd be looking for some sort of price action confirmation for a buy from the support. To me, it looks like trash, but bearish trash. Let me sell jackets to capital. Promote me to get capital. I didn't give you the chance here, because normally if anyone promotes themselves on this stream, they get instantly banned, but you're not promoting a trading group. I'm not promoting you though, but I'll allow you to remain on the stream. Screwth, still long at B at the moment. Nice one. Yeah, I definitely would have been considering an entry here had I been watching the charts. A lot, again, based off the long wick rejections on multiple candles, there are multiple candles. Let's just mark it in, and I want to look at the 5-minute. Yeah, most definitely would have been looking for an entry there. Not too sure if it popped down then popped up and what the deal was in regards to how this candle formed, but that would have been my entry of that 15. That's the closure of 15, and it's also bullish engulfing M5. That would have been me the entry. Pulled an absolute beauty again yesterday, guys, but yesterday's was different. I didn't take it. Just wasn't as comfortable in regards to first of all, we didn't really have the margin. The risk to reward, not that it's of massive concern for me, but to not even have a 1-to-1 is just a little bit off-putting. so I chose not to enter that trade, but it was absolute perfect as per the actual analysis. See what happens today, guys. My team members, here is a link for you, by the way. Jack Master, all good. What jackets do you actually do you sell, mate? Just out of curiosity. Sell 7. What indicators do you use? If you do use them and have ever created your own? No, I don't use. I mean, this one is an indicator, but it's not. It doesn't give me a signal to enter the markets. It just, all this does is show me the open of the Asian session, and obviously, sorry, from the open to EU open, the high and low of the day. That's all this does, because what I often see is, not always, but price will sweep either high or low, and I like to see it retest it, see if we push through it, or continue away from that zone, or push back into it. That can give me some sort of idea where we could be heading. Otherwise, no, I do not use indicators. Have I created my own? Potentially in the process of doing so for the interruption entry. Yeah, it's minimum buy some 68. Nice work. Dancon. Well, it's bouncing off the support, but I'm preferring sell, so I believe we could come up a little bit higher. But I'm going to be looking for potential sell options. Guess when you think we'll break through 4,000? Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it could do so, for sure. We do anything at the minute. So we just need to wait and see. I'm not opposed to buys, but again, not from the current level. I need some sort of signal. I would not have it at the minute. So unless it comes back down to support, can't see myself getting buys on this stream, to be honest, guys. But we'll see. Things could change. Uncle Jackson wants my dream car. Just a big U or something, mate. I'm not into cars. I'm not half an egg. Not into sports cars. I can't stand them. They're too low. I can't stand sitting so low down to close to the road. I like a big man's car, man. Give me any 4x4. Just, I don't want to say the F word, but F off 4x4 ute. I'd be more than happy with that, in all honesty. I absolutely love. I don't know if they're any good though, because again, I'm not into cars. The Ranger Raptor, that's a hot car. That's a beast, absolute beast. I've got a Hilux. It's not pimped out or anything. Nice car though. I love it. 2019, 2020, 19. It was just before COVID. Oh, 18, sorry. Towards the end of 2018. Nice car, fun to drive. Got some kahunas too. Hummer? Yeah, not even a Hummer to be honest, man. anywhere you are around the world, you might call it a pickup truck, or just a big truck basically is what I would prefer. Sports cars look all flashy, they look good, but got a Civic as well, and I mean that to me is so uncomfortable. That's so low to the ground. It's just the Civic RS. And yeah, it's a nice car. I mean, it looks nice, goes well, turbo, but it's just too low to the ground. I don't like driving it. I pretty much never drive it. Squatch, thank you for sharing a live. Alright, so let's see on gold. So we are fast approaching a resistance, so it's a good thing, guys. We're making a clean move up. I like it. Do you like what I'm seeing? Because if we do reject and we have some sort of catalyst and we get the opportunity, we do have definitely the margin to take it back down. So that's a good thing. Quickly have a look at GJ. GJ looking good for continuation sells on the following candle. Assuming GU might be selling off. No. Doing consolidation. EU, perhaps off the back of what could come out of the press conference shortly from the president of the EU. Sorry. Where is it? Where is the ECB president? That's what I was thinking of. European Central Bank. And see Bitcoin's also taking a bit of a nosedive today, and some of the alts seem to be bleeding a bit too. You got Ethereum back below the flash crash low from a couple of weeks back. Ethereum looks potentially like could head back down to 3,400. Would not surprise me to see another flash crash, just to pretty much a stop loss hunt to the downside, grab some liquidity, where ETH could potentially drop back down to below 3k. So personally I'm not interested one bit in buying really any crypto at the minute. I'll be interested again if we have things like XRP back to below $1, and it's far-fetched. It may not ever happen, but I'm just not interested, to be honest. Still feel silver is probably the safer bet, and I do believe silver will definitely head up in the future. Maybe not the short term, it will follow gold. But I'm very confident that silver will end up being well into triple figures. Could even surprise a few people, well, could surprise everyone, and hit that 1k plus at some point. But so, g'day to you. Think gold might fall. Alright, so we've got just over a minute remaining. I don't yet have a catalyst to sell it, but we are rejecting. If this candle flipped and closed back near its low, just don't have a catalyst on the 5 minute as well. Don't have support form just yet. To be honest, I really would have preferred it to actually pop up a little bit higher. I could see the cluster interruption play working out either way. Lawsy. G'day to you, mate, by the way. Didn't realize you were a member. Welcome, mate. Welcome to the... Thank you for your support on YouTube. I like Zone 2, only... Yeah. Yeah, man, I just like big cars, to be honest. I don't like small cars, they drive me nuts. Got a wide frame, wide shoulders. Huge, mate, huge. Trade delicious, only 4 giant. Yep, nice one. More into you. Alright, so we've closed back. Anyway, way too strong for me to consider a sell. No catalyst just yet, but what we could look for potentially, guys, is if we begin to form a bit of minor support here on the 5 and then close the M15 back bearish, we could have a potential option on next M15 candle. So don't go anywhere, guys. See what happens in the next 15 minutes. Obviously we can plan ahead. I'm not fussed by the fact it hasn't popped up to the resistance because we have tapped into a previous level and we are in fact bearish. So we don't necessarily need to retest the recent high. We could create a lower high and head back down and create a lower low, or retest the low. So not put off by that. I mean, we still could pop up and retest that resistance either way. Wait and see what happens in 15 minutes, just under. Took lower lows, RSI 51 reaching supply zone, surely will open London with bearish movement. Fair enough, mate. I don't use, as you guys know, I don't use RSI or anything like that. I know it was well overbought on a higher time frame for quite a while, which doesn't really, it's not that of much concern to me, to be honest. If something's in a big strong uptrend, RSI is often well overbought. Yes, it will pull back a bit, and I think the recent crash has probably reset the RSI. So the back of that, then a chance longer term perspective that gold could perhaps be looking to find some support and head back up. I'm just assuming I don't have the RSI out and I couldn't be bothered putting it up here, to be honest, to check it out. Are we cool? Looking for a potential sell, but have to wait. Oliver, good day to you, mate. Welcome, welcome. Samad, my fun and futures of alpha futures. No idea which is better. I've never had an account with either. Don't have top account, a challenge account. No idea. If anyone can help a friend out, let Samad know. Michael Hughes just claimed my reward from FTMO and has been approved. Nice one. It took just another confirmation for you, the RSI. Fair enough, mate. I used to use it when I was swing trading. I most definitely used it back then. Again, just to add confluence to an entry. But make sure you get all that creatine out of the cup, guys. You can't leave any behind. 15 grams a day, by the way. Not 3, not 5. Best sports supplement you could intake, that you could have in your daily diet. I absolutely love creatine. It's such a good performance booster. It's good for your focus as well. It's good for your organs as well. It's good for your brain. Love it. Has no taste. That's another good thing. So it mixes with pretty much anything. Just let you guys know. Ritsu, crypto hunting stop loss. Yeah, I mentioned that before. Wouldn't surprise me even if it crashes if we have another flash crash, takes out some liquidity from the downside in order to head back up, or stops out some of the buyers. Gold popping up, I can see in my brokerage chart. Nice one. So this is all right, guys. I'm liking what I'm seeing. So now we're at a potential level where, again, I can look for an opportunity, but I need some sort of catalyst. The more impulsive entries could present at this point, now that, again, we are at that level. So what I mean by that is the candles that pop straight up, for instance. The issue is we're popping up even higher just now, so I wanted to settle down. But what I was going to say is if it pops straight up without the lower wick, we'll look to the left as to where we could potentially tap into and reject, and look for a potential sell at that point. Very impulsive with a valid stop loss, which would have to be above maybe that wick, for instance, but still a lot of water to go under the bridge, guys. 9 minutes left on this candle, but we'll see obviously where we close. But popping up at the minute. That's why rich get richer. Yep, when it comes to liquidity, stop loss hunting. It's this sell. Yeah, I'm looking for an opportunity if it does present. Low strength in the DXY also, by the looks of things. Is that a sign of things to come? I think the Fed came out and said that they're not necessarily going to be cutting rates again at the next meeting. I think a lot of people thought it would be a given moving forward. I think the last meeting they came out and mentioned that it's not a given. See, Nasdaq's also, a chart from yesterday has also spat the dummy, starting to make a decent pullback at the minute. Yeah, Nasdaq looks pretty good for potential continuation to the downside. Wow's confirmed a structure flip as well. Support is far off. All right, got a little bit of support here in the M15. So Nasdaq, I'd just be looking for sells as well. I wouldn't feel comfortable buying it. I don't believe we've tapped into a strong enough level for it to bounce off. So I'd rather, if it was to bounce from the current level, wait for an opportunity to sell it on a lower high, or continuation below current daily candles low. All right, let's focus though on gold. So we've tapped into that zone now. Pretty strong rejection here on the 5 minute. See how this candle closes on the M15. Would have been nice if we had a little bit of support forming on the 5 minute within this candle. So that would have required bearish bullish scenario. Obviously we won't have that. Or we could potentially look for is just see how the next 5 minute candle closes. If it closes very strong bearish, we close a weak bullish candle off the back of that, again, that will be a sign of exhaustion and rejection of this resistance. The issue would be stop loss though, so it would have to come down to, once again, the following candle, the highest point of the entry candle itself. That could be the potential position for stop loss. So I'm not ruling out a potential entry on the following M15, but we need to wait just to see for the time being, guys. Close back. Oh, we close back bearish in the 5 minute. All right, so once again, this is the time we could actually use the fib to gauge the strength of the candle, and from top to bottom. Now, if we close below the 0.382, that suggests to me it's a weak bullish closure after tapping into and rejecting a resistance at that 39.95 sort of region. Then again, it could present a catalyst. Now, I would really prefer it to close lower though, because if we were to eyeball that, just eyeballing it, you can see it still looks like a relatively strong bullish candle. So I'd want it to close well below that horizontal if I was to consider any potential sell option on the following M15. But again, we could still pop up. Obviously, it is pushing back up at the minute. And if that is the case, then we need to wait for a further confirmation. Moore's IPSA, how can you look for liquidity? Well, zones of liquidity are just areas where price is tapped into on multiple occasions and rejected to the upside and downside. Areas of liquidity, also areas of consolidation, is liquidity being built up into the market. So basically all this, the clean moves follow the liquidity build up. So these big clean candles are the catalyst of the liquidity being built up, the orders to the upside downside being placed into the markets to give it the volume and necessary liquidity to make the next move. So if we were to look at it now on the 4 hour, this is just one big area of liquidity on the 4 hour. So if you're swing trading it, your options would be to probably wait for either confirmation would be a break of the support, or maybe a break of resistance, so on and so forth. I'm not a swing trader though, so I'm not sure what your confirmation would be. Volume Charles, are you going to take a trade on live? Remains to be seen, mate. If I get the right confirmation, yes. MC Mitrovic, are you going to sell? Maybe. Not sure if I like this track. Alright, TikTok, if you've not yet followed, make sure to follow me. Get free Forex education daily, pretty much daily, Monday, most of the time Monday to Friday, but of late I've been on and off a little bit. And win rate is 80%, so called a cracker yesterday, called a really good entry yesterday. Unbelievable how it played out perfectly. Thursday was probably the trade of the year in regards to step by step everything I said that I'd want to see happen was absolute right on. Yesterday's was also just didn't like the actual area, but that also is exactly as I had planned, analyzed. Just couldn't find the entry because of the lack of margin. All right, so 30 seconds left. It's not going to close below its horizontal, so no entry to the downside just yet. Now, if we pop straight up, I like it. The 30, we don't really have a wick to target to the upside as an entry point. Very impulsive. Not valid either way. It's created a small lower wick, so let's see. Let's wait. $5L_X DXY is dumping. Gold shorts look nice. Yeah, very good level to look for some opportunities. I need some sort of confirmation. But took whole previous week was good for BTC sell and gold sell. OG Madam Stace, welcome to 4017 is your target. Nice one. Well, I wish you luck with that. Yeah, I think it'll all come down really. Well, still got more resistance a little bit higher up as well. I'm not entirely sure why you've got that level as a target, but I wish you luck. Again, we are at resistance though. It's also, which is just below the daily high. So for me, I'm looking for a sell from the current level personally. MC Mitrovic, 3900, your TP, okay. FX, high volume, so be careful. I'm always careful, mate. Welcome on to you. Good evening from Oz, from Melbourne. Well, I'm Chris, possible sell, not without the confirmation. Well, you took it already. No. I did mention earlier, if I was on the charts, but this is well before the stream, I would have taken the entry there. Definitely would have been looking to enter there. Multiple wick rejections of the support. You had a 5-minute bullish engulfing. That would have been, again, enough for me to look for a buy. Just there. It wasn't on chart for it, so price has since made the move up, and now I'm waiting to see how we react to the resistance and if there's going to be an opportunity to take a sell from that level. Not interested in buying it. I do believe I've missed the opportunity to take a buy just now, so I'd much rather look for a potential sell option. Seeing we are at resistance, we could in fact still sweep the Asian range high, and if we were to pop back below it, try to see what sort of entry I could get if I do have some sort of confirmation to do so. But for now, again, I just need to wait. Understand this was the move that if you were to buy it, probably needs to be in from that point. So I'm not chasing the upside at the minute. Good to see you bought it 39.6777. Nice one. Good many guys write their TPs in chat. I'm astonished how they put TP so far apart from. Yeah, I think a lot of the time I look at it and I don't quite see the level that they've got, but again, could be based off a different type of strategy or fib or something. I'm not too sure. Umani, you do so, my friend, if that's what you believe. FX needs to respect that level 1 build structure. But took you go with market, not against it. That's why you're only one trader I follow. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. ByBit double X entry for sales 4003 to 3999. Yeah, you do have some resistance, 3999. Yeah, again, I'm looking for potential sells from the current level if I have some sort of catalyst. Okay, so we got 5 minute support just below the resistance here, so we need a strong closure in the M15. Let's mark in the 5 minute support as well. And if we can close below that point there on the 15-minute time frame, we could have a confirmation to look for an entry. We've tapped into the resistance 3 occasions only to reject, but I'm going to patiently wait the 15-minute confirmation. We are showing signs potentially of exhaustion, but let's just wait, guys, and see. Or is what is going to happen. I reckon we'll brush the Asian and come back down. We'll do that potentially. Oracle 88, it's go down. Abs, what's my entry for my sell? And then don't know yet, need to wait for first of all for a confirmation. MagicKeys rejecting fight, yep, looking okay. Silent effects, well, the overall target will be the daily low, but I definitely would secure in between. Heavy metal bulldogs, GJ, I can have a look for you. Wow, so didn't close below in the end of that previous counter. So same idea, guys. If it closed below bearish engulfing, then continuation sells down to 201 flat would be, in my opinion, a potential option. But this goes to show the importance of waiting for closures, because had you have taken an impulse entry, you've been stuck in some significant drawdown, following counter closes bullish, not feeling great about it, maybe you've cut the trade, and now it's making the move. So you need to just be patient. So yeah, could be a potential entry, but it could also make the move potentially in the next 7 minutes. So the Y line, and in reference to, you're talking about here, or you're talking about here? It's just the buys above, just the what has 30 for the stream. This is the 5 minute support, this one here. G-Man stays touched 39.97 at least. Did it? Not quite, did it? Very close. Abs, but you think it's going to be a sell? I followed some other signals and got burnt 3. Yeah, that's why you shouldn't follow signals, guys. You should come up with your own signals. For me, I do believe it's more of a sell from the current level. Doesn't mean it's going to reject, so that's why I'm not entering until I have confirmation, because it could still push through it. But if that's the case, I'm not bothered, because I'm not in the trade either way. So first of all, not a signal service. Yes, I will take the trade if it presents, but you should go upon your own analysis. A lot of these signal service groups, it's all about cash. That's all it's about. Jose, potentially. Need to wait just over 5.5 minutes. Filippo, it has to reach 4,000, right? It doesn't have to reach 4,000. It can do whatever it wants. Will it reach 4,000? I believe it will definitely reach 4,000 moving forward at some point, because I believe gold will end up at some point. It could be 5 years from now at 10k. So if that's the case, then it has to reach 4,000. But for the time being, no. If you're talking about right now or short term, it doesn't have to. It can do whatever it wants to do. So what I do is trade what I see, not what I think will happen. Because trading what I think will happen, I don't actually trade. That is what I don't want to use the I word because I might get a ban on TikTok, but I will say accumulate for the future. And I do have some holdings of physical metal, gold. Obviously, I speak about silver regularly. I have a lot more silver than gold. But trading wise, let's see. Because I do believe we could get some potential options to sell gold. We don't necessarily want it to form support just now on the 5 minute, because that means the 15 is going to close weak, bearish. Won't be below this support, but it could come down to how the following candle opens, guys, because we'll still be, the entry point will still be basically below that support, be very close to it. So it will then come down to how the following candle opens. If it opens straight, let's just say, if first of all, there's two options, one of two things. So it could potentially do this where it pops straight down, similar to yesterday. Yeah, exact same as yesterday. Pops straight down without an upper wick, breaks the low, not in it because we're not trusting it, because we know for a fact, and we saw it yesterday, there's a very high probability it's going to pull back up, create the upper wick. That is to be the case. We begin to reject again. Sell stop entry would be back below the low, like so. The second potential entry would be if this closes strong bearish, not necessarily below that support. I want it to close close to its low though. New candle opens up straight bullish, flips and breaks the low. That potentially could provide an entry point, but for that to be the case, I really want this to close quite strong. So let's see, we don't want a strong 5 minute closure here. Silent effects, just follow your own strategy. Yep, I agree. Jamal, morning mate, long time. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate it, mate. I hope you're well. Welcome. 5L XX. Okay. I reckon we're just going to stay near below 4,000. Good, who knows? Peppernickel, signal groups get commissions from signing up their offshore broker. They don't care if, yep, exactly. For the most part, they don't. The one time I was involved in a signal group calling signals, I actually gave a shit. And one of the reasons I hated it was because I was told to trade a specific strategy which would give us more potential entries without worrying about the trend, without worrying about what was to the left, if we were in consolidation or what, or whatever. Range was choppy if we had margin, and I hated it, and we got wrecked for a fair part of that, well, for a fair while. And it was only when I had enough of it and said, stuff this, you want me to continue doing it, and then I do it my way. That was when things started to change, but there weren't as many signals, obviously. But I hated it. I absolutely hated doing it. Would never do it again. It's such a headache, honestly. All right, so just over a minute, guys. Let's see. It is rejecting a bit now. All right, interesting. But we have a signal here for on gold. So again, it could come down to, it's likely going to come down to how the following candle opens up. So what we're going to have to do now is, whatever the lowest point of the current candle is on your broker's chart, I'm just going to suss that out on my chart. If there is an entry, it would be just below that point. So the low of my chart is 39.9041, so I'd be looking at 39.90.20. But this has to close strong. I want to start popping back up. And ideally, I'd really like to see it break and then pop back up, create upper wick, but the entry would have to be a little bit lower down. Want to drop a little bit more, don't pop up. Lems Benjamin, you can ask a question. All right, so not the strongest closure. Let's see if it hoping it's just going to pop straight down, straight low, and then pop back up. All right, let's look at this. So we've got 5-minute support. We're not below it. I'm not comfortable just yet. To me, it's not a, that's not a signal. Not just yet. Gonna wait a little bit longer. Yeah, we saw last two streams, guys. What happens if I wait for the right confirmation? Absolutely smashed it. So without the right confirmation, I'm not going to jump in. Thank you to new followers. Michael, good support in 5 minutes. Yep, but we remain above it. Abs, can you plan how did you are you talking about the support and resistance, the zones? Yeah, it's pretty much the highest point at the resistance of any bearish candle. I attach that to the closest body. Not always the same candle. And to the downside, same thing, but the lowest point of any bullish candle. Decide here to attach it to most recent support, and these are levels that price tends to tap into and reject. We often have a reaction to it. We've had a reaction here to the upside, had a reaction here to the downside. That's how I do it. If you join from the beginning of the stream, you'll hear me do the analysis, and that's you know, off the back of that, you'll understand it a little bit more. Otherwise, just maybe what I do is make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and rewatch the streams in the beginning, and you'll learn a lot about how I analyze the chart and draw up the chart. For those of you on TikTok, at some point, be wise of you to jump across to the YouTube channel. You can jump across to it right now if you want. I am streaming live on YouTube as well. Get the full screen with all the levels, all the numbers, all the price scale, so on and so forth. So up to you guys, but do it at some point, just in case I get banned on TikTok, which has happened already a few times, to be honest. So Peppernickel, this guy's legit. Thank you, mate. Abs, can you yep, sorry, just explain that for you. Stephen Mills, do you offer training support to beginners? Look, I think, to be honest, I think you'd need a bit of experience, but yeah, I have done so. I definitely have done so. But what I would suggest to you is have a look at this particular website. It's for free. You can create a free account. Just type in the chat, just put .com at the end of that, and that will help you. That is probably the best place to start for beginners. It's got heaps of information. Will help you with terminology and just basic analysis and things like that. Michael Jackson, would you ever do Asian session stream if you had the time? Yeah, probably. In the future, I may actually do it more, to be honest. I think the Asian session is fantastic to trade, especially gold. Again, I just like to do my own thing of a day. So for instance, today I was at the gym. Melbourne Cup day here. I have no idea who won the race. Still couldn't tell you any horse or jockey who was in the race, but it's over already. And I spent first few hours just doing some cleaning and then went to the gym. AJ, can you explain why you think it will be a sell? Like with what information? Why? Because we're at a zone of resistance here. Is also the Asian range high. So what I see happen quite regularly is price will tend to gravitate to the high or low like a magnet. And a lot of times gonna break it, only to pull back below it if this resistance is the hold, and that could provide a potential entry signal. Doesn't always necessarily happen like so though. Other times it's gonna break, close above, retest, and begin to pull away from it. The upsides are just a little bit tricky because we're at a 4-hour resistance as well to the upside. Well, actually, you've got resistance on the 15. Something I will consider. I will consider it. Also, reason being is because it is coming to London Open, high time volume. But I definitely need the closure. I definitely need the retest. And if I get that, I may just disregard this week. Because I know we'll have the momentum. I know we've had a pause. But I want it to retest the Asian range high. So I want it to close above. And it must retest the Asian range high on the following candle. If it does that, I will set a buy stop back above the catalyst high. Without the retest, there would be no buy stop, there would be no entry. Sebastian, good morning to you, mate. Rick 5941 London Open 10 minutes could get interesting. Yep. Boss Pops, you don't like sells and a bearish candle low break? No, I don't like it. Not the way this candle has formed. I mean, if this candle rejects and closes weak bullish or even weak bearish with long upper wick, then yes, I will consider sells for London Open for sure. That'd be similar to the scenario we had down at support, which I did mention would have been entry for me had I been on the charts from that point based off 15 and the 5 minute. Would have been an entry there. So if we have similar, then yes, I will consider it, but not on this current candle. Stanley, so do you help some people like us know how don't have enough knowledge about chart, how to learn and understand? Just watch me stream, mate. Watch me stream live. I do have a group. If anyone's interested, it is pinned in, well, it's down in the description below. But otherwise, just watch me trade live, or watch me analyze the charts and how I'll go about my session. You'll learn a lot. Or Guitar, can you explain why a retest is critical? Because without that retest, first of all, I often see it retest, and I want to see it retest. Just give me more confidence in the trade. It gives me that confluence as well. I mean, it has to close above, and without the retest, I'd rather just let it go, to be honest. It's a rule of mine as well that if we close above a zone, unless within the actual catalyst candle itself, we've had a retest on the micro time frame, that being the 5 minute, or sometimes even the 1 minute. Without that, I've had no retest whatsoever at this level. I need to wait patiently for the following candle to open up, retest it, and then begin to pull away, because my concern is at some point we're likely going to retest it. And if I do get triggered in prior to it, so let's just say it pops up, breaks the high of my catalyst candle, that's the highest point, I get triggered in, and it pops straight back down, retest this low, I'm stuck in drawdown. And it's just, it's a way to avoid that from happening. So again, it's just time on the charts experience, so I'd rather just wait patiently. But let's see, 6.5 minutes left. We could get a potential sell option still, not ruling out sells as well, guys. Got the 5 minute support here. Let's see if we reject strongly in the next 6 minutes. Boss Pops, 2 week of a candle, I think. No, I was considering it on that closure, but I mentioned I want to see the following candle pop straight down, break the low, and then pop up, break its own, create an upper wick, and then I would have set a sell stop, or pop straight up without a lower wick, and then I would potentially set a sell stop below low, but I did none of that, so that's why I'm not interested in selling it at the minute if it breaks the low. Waiting patiently for London Open. Vittorio, where Gold going next now? We have to wait and see. Abs, you streaming it elsewhere with full screen? Yeah, YouTube, mate. Exact same profile name, so you cannot miss it. Stephen Mills. Sorry, by you know what I mean, 6 month, 1 year training. Ask combine to a funding account. Nice one, mate. Well, you're not that much of a beginner, but I do have a group. I do have a VIP group. It's $1 a day. look first then leap. Horse name was half yours, I think. It was female. Oh, really? Nice one. AJ, all good. Seth Abdi, how does it need to close it? Weak? Bullish? If it closes weak bullish, it creates on the 15-minute time frame minor support with multiple rejections of this resistance. Off the back of that, off the back of my data, I do know that there is a high probability if we were to begin to break the minor support that we could make the move to the downside here. So once again, I can use the fib and mark in a 0.382. Once again, it looks a little bit too strong though, 0.382. But that would validate a potential entry. So if we can close significantly below the 0.382, then we could have some sell stop options at London Open. But once again, we would need an upper wick to form prior to any entry. And if it does happen, it begins to break low of this bullish candle, just a bit above the 5-minute support, I would consider an entry. So in 3 minutes and 45 seconds, we need to close well below his horizontal for me to consider it. I have to say I'm happy I'm watching your stream. I've had 2 more signals for sell. Bus. Once again, mate, there's no guarantee. So if I get the right confirmation, doesn't mean it's 100% going to be a winning trade. So yeah, hopes up too much, mate. But there's an 80% chance it will be. So that's a pretty high probability. Lems, you're a bit late to the stream. Your question is, what are you looking out for now? Price is at that level. Yeah, so I just mentioned it. Weak bullish closure, or we just close strong, begins to reject and close back bearish. Apps shorting on YouTube. Nice one. All good, mate. Alright, so this horizontal is the 5-minute support. This horizontal is the 0.382 from top to bottom of this candle. That would tell me whether or not we're a strong bullish candle or a weak bullish candle. If it's a weak bullish candle, we could off the back of that look for sells below the low of this candle at London Open. So let's just wait a minute, just under 2 minutes. Why do I look AI? No idea what you mean by that. All right, beginning to reject team. Let's see. All right, what would stop loss be based off? Not too bad. You're looking about 50 pips for which on gold at the minute. It's quite a reasonable stop loss. All right, so I'm going to pay attention to the lowest point now of this bullish candle on my broker's chart, and that is 39.91.32. So I'd be looking at potentially 39.91.10 if it is to be valid. We are popping back up though, so remains to be seen, guys. Just under 1 minute, we need to reject. The nickel sell stop, sell limit. Sell stop is when you got a pending order below the current market price. Sell limits when you got a pending order above the current market price, and vice versa for buy stop, buy limit. Again, that website that I mentioned will clarify all that too. What am I trading on? This is TradingView, but execute my trades on MetaTrader 5. All right, not going to be valid, guys. We're closing too strong. All right, so as data prints, I reassess. Very simple. What I need to wait for now is extremely simple. This next potential option has to be this. Like a game of chess, guys. My opponent just made its move. Now I need to wait. And if this presents, I will definitely look to make my move. Very simple process. Start a prints, you reassess, reanalyze, and you create the rules. There's no if, buts, or maybes. There's no FOMO. There's no emotions. It's just yes or no. Black or white. That's it. Very simple. That's exactly how I go about my trading. Pepper nickel, all good. Are you still looking to sell? No. No, we closed too strong. And look at it now. Wow. London Open, and it is popping to the upside. So again, someone mentioned before about it's a good level to sell. You should be selling it. Is it going to come down? I'm not bothered. Look, it's at a potential level to get involved in a sell, but I haven't got the confirmation, and I'm safe because I've not jumped into a sell off the back of where we're at, just purely because we've tapped into a resistance. By waiting for that confirmation, I've spared myself being taken out in a loss of a trade. And if it pumps the upside, again, it's nothing for me. It just means it's continued bullish. I would need to reassess if I was to trade later on. But we'll see. Could still reject. But again, it just goes to show there is no FOMO. There is no emotion at all when it comes to my trading. It does feel good when you have a nice win, especially when you call it absolutely perfectly. But you get over it after like a minute. After a loss, same thing. It doesn't feel great, but you get over it after a minute. That's how it should be as a trader. You need to be as robotic as you possibly can. Derby driveways, buy or sell. At the minute, nothing. Still preferring a sell option, but I don't have the right confirmation at the minute. Gold Sniper, how are you, mate? Link your broker to TradingView for trading. Much easier. Yeah, the only thing is, can't use MagicKeys. I can't trade without it. I really cannot. Yeah, the name changes are. I'm not sure why YouTube now uses the handles as opposed to the actual profile name. It's a pain in the ass, to be honest, because I mean, for the most part, I know who I'm speaking to now, but it threw me off at the very beginning. But once again, we've still got an entry point here, guys. So we've got support. That's the entry point. We need to close below it. Very simple process. Okay, what do I put in use? What websites do I use? Forex Factory. Main reason is because this is the one that most well, the prop firms that use. Not that I have an account with any of them, but still, it's the stock standard basically is Forex Factory when it comes to the news. But I do believe Financial Juice is better. Just a little bit, it's not as clean, I feel, to follow. But it is more up to date, especially with the breaking stuff. It's more thorough. It includes a lot more news events. And you often find here, it might be red folder, whereas on Forex Factory, something might be yellow sometimes even, or orange. But it's really, it's much of a muchness, whatever whatever floats your boat. Oh, sniper, kind of hoping for a nice sell here. Yeah, likewise, mate. On silver, yesterday analysis great. No entry. How many trades a day do you take? Again, I have no limit. It all depends on if my entry presents while I'm on the charts. If it's I deem to be a quality entry. Some days there's no trades. Some days can be multiple days with no trades. I'm only on the charts for about 2 hours a day, so I don't give myself that much of a window, to be honest. Sometimes a little bit more, depends on members calls and that. Some days it'll be 1, some days it'll be 2, but for the most part 1, knowing that 80% of the time it's gonna be winning trade. I'm happy with that. Tommy, I don't know why you're wanting gold to fly. Fair enough, mate. If it flies, I'm just gonna have to reassess and look for potential options moving forward to the upside. NK, which concept on TradingView are you using now? Which concept? My own? Liam, you're in sales and you're done for? Yeah, I'm not sure what your confirmation was, mate. John, on average, 1. It just depends, mate. Again, I don't let the charts dictate my life. If my option presents, fantastic. If not, so be it. Yesterday, called it absolutely to the T. Just didn't have the margin. Again, it was a little bit less than 1-to-1, which again, I'm not usually that concerned about, but it doesn't really make much sense to roll with like a 50 plus 60 pip stop with only about 50 pips to target to the downside, and it was technically still basically in consolidation. Jumped on the charts about an hour after for about 40 minutes with a couple of the members. About half an hour actually. There's only a few on the call. There was nothing presenting, and called it a day. Indicator. So this is just the Asian range that gives you the high and low of the Asian, and technically speaking the Asian session is still open, but I've used the Tokyo Open until EU Open, and that is what this is. Just shows me the high and low of the Tokyo to the EU Open. I often like to see how price reacts to it, so we have now just broken it by the looks of things. I want to see how we do react. If we now reject and pop back below, my entry point is below the support with the right confirmation. John, echoing. Sorry, mate. I have no idea what to do about that. Occasionally happens on TikTok. I'm not too sure why. Tommy, you're bought this by now. You've been stuck in it for what, about a week now, basically. At least you're in profit. Stanley Charmer. I could be a real smart ass right now if I wanted to. But I'll be friendly. Have a look in the description, mate. It's all there. Amazing what you can do if you actually take a moment to look. Seek and you will find. It was echoing for 5 seconds, John. Now it's okay. Sweeping high. Yeah, it's done so. And rejecting. So could we have a potential confirmation? Still need to be below support though. LMs, do you look out for engulfing catalysts in a level 2? Yes, engulfing is a strong catalyst. Alright, let's see how this 15-minute closes, guys. If we can reject in 3 minutes time and be right at these lows. We can look at some of the other pairs, GJ. So it's now making a move. Still wouldn't have been any confirmation of entry there for me. That would have been your catalyst, but you never would have been triggered in. Never would have broken low, obviously, until now. So off the back of the strength of that previous bullish counter, I would not have taken impulse entry there. GU is finally leaving the area. Right area again to get involved, just not best sort of confirmation. You're pretty much selling it into support. And EU. So interesting EU if anyone is following it. Let's just wait and see how, if support forms above the resistance, the options to the upside, and if it rejects, forms support and rejects and closes below, then be some downside options. Abdul, do I wait for full candles to break your support? For a closure blow, if that's what you're talking about? Yes, not always, but for the most part, yes. Oh, look at this rejection. All right, let's see if we're gonna close near the low, guys. If that is to be the case, then again, what I'll be looking for is it will all depend on the following candle, how it opens up. Do we really want this to reject strong in the next minute and 20 seconds? Come on. Doesn't necessarily need to close below, but we want it to reject. I want the following candle to pop straight down, breaking the support, then pop back up, break an upper wick, and break its own low again. So let's see, let's focus, guys. We are rejecting. Looking good. It would be fantastic if it does this, then does this, and then does that. Drop a little bit more would be fantastic. All right, we need to leave a little bit of a lower wick, guys, and we need an up wick prior to any entry. You're looking at entry below that support, so my particular broker could be potentially 33.91.10. It all will come down to how the following candle opens up, and we need an upper wick because that's likely going to need to be used as your stop loss. Stop loss is going to be quite a big one. Oh, I do like this rejection. Let's leave a small little nipple of a lower wick and that will be enough. We've got a little lower wick. All right, let's see. It's popped straight down. No entry until it pops back up, creates the upper wick. And we're looking at inside just below the low of the current candle. whatever that is, needs to create that upper wick. The low is 39.9116 at the moment. Ah man, create the upper wick. Don't be stubborn. 39.99.5 is the low at the minute. It needs to pop up, guys. We want it to create the upper wick now. If it does, I'm seeing a sell stop below whatever will be the lowest point in this candle. That's what I need to do. All right, perfect. Doing it. So sell stop 39.90.60 for me. Got a tiny upper wick on my approach chart. So I've got a sell stop 39.90.60. Stop, I've just got it above these wicks for the time being. But if we reject, as soon as it triggers in, the stop loss will be shifted to the entry candle high. So not in just yet. Sorry, 39.90.60. This is very similar to yesterday, guys. So let's see. So for Abdi, no selling. Against all odds, you're in sells right now. Alright, we're popping up pretty strong. It's similar yesterday, it did the same thing, guys. So still comfortable if we begin to break our own low. Where I would not be comfortable is if we really start to push back into the zone again. Wow. Still respecting the support. But once again, it just goes to show you're not concerned, because if you're patiently waiting for the right cue to place your trade, you're still not triggered into it, so you have no concern whatsoever. Should not be any worry at the minute. My concern is it's getting very close to dinner time and I'm pretty hungry, so I want this to eventuate very quickly. Evelyn, Evelyn, whichever one. How much do I make monthly? Millions. Not quite. It's of no one's concern how much I make of a month.
Morning, Justin.
How are you, mate? How's it going?
Yeah, I'm very well. How are you?
Not bad. All good, mate. Welcome. Good to hear.
Have you actually opened the trade yet?
Set the position, yes. I've set the self stop. Not in the trade.
You've opened it.
Okay. Yeah, I've set the order, but not in the trade. It's not been triggered in.
No.
Position of.
You click the open count bit. That's right, the open trade.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
To place the pending order.
The line I was talking about, by the way, was the one that's sort of following the right underneath, touching the lower wicks of the candles. Looks like a bit of a trading stop loss system. No, not there.
Yeah.
Go down, across to your left.
Yeah.
Yeah, there. Yeah.
Oh no, that's just the, again, it's just the Asian range formation. So
Okay.
yeah, that's all it is. So wicks to the downside, wicks to the upside.
Oh,
Yeah.
very good. I'll try and work out how to add that in later.
Yeah, I'll type it in to the Zoom chat for you, what the actual indicator is. But you need to adjust it. I've got mine from Tokyo Open until EU Open. You're gonna have to work out the time.
Okay.
Obviously, it would be different from for you, seeing you're outside the world.
Yes, the bloody bombs.
That's it. Over the pond, homies. Dan, thank you for the sticker.
Yeah, all right, convict.
We're worse than that, don't worry at the moment. It's a terrible place at the moment here in Melbourne. I'll walk out the door without worrying about being stabbed. Sorry, mate.
Well, they went to get his visa from the Auction House in London, where they said, have you got criminal record? He said, I didn't know you still needed one.
You win. No reply to that, mate. That's right, we're all convicts here in Australia. A lot of criminals. That's these days they're everywhere.
Especially got as bad as us over here right now.
What's that?
I don't think you've got it as bad as us.
Oh, yeah, actually, yeah, I've heard it's not great, is it?
No, we're not in a good spot right now.
Yeah.
Well,
Imagine.
Last time across.
Yeah. It's just unfortunate the way things are around the world. It's a sad world. Rick, did the Asian high get swept on my brokerage chart? I'm not sure about that, to be honest. I don't think it did. Doesn't look like it did, to be honest. Got very close to it. Dan, I'm looking for a sell, but doesn't look like it's gonna happen. What's it like in Melbourne? It's a bit of a shithole, to be honest. Yeah, so I'm gonna remove the order, guys. We're pulling back way too far for my liking. Not happy that I'm removing the order. Because what we could be doing is just creating, well, obviously triggering some orders, some sell pressure at the resistance. So grabbing some downside, or grabbing liquidity, once again, grabbing some volume. And if we begin to engulf, there's a high probability that we're going to continue back bullish. Same issue, stop loss is going to be a huge one, to be honest. You're running into more resistance. I don't think it's going to happen for the time being, guys. I would prefer to sell at the current level, but again, could just be a bit of a pause, bit of a grab of liquidity. Price made a solid move from the support, so let's quickly measure it. It's from the low. You're looking about, it's a $29 move, so 290 plus pips there. So at some point it's going to exhaust, grab some more liquidity, which is done so below the resistance. But if it wipes out the sellers and closes back above, there's a high probability it could push to the upside. But look, I'll wait and see how this candle closes, just in case it does reject again. Vasu by over 4,000, not a bad option as well, to be honest. Dan, do I not trade Naz? No. Been good last night. Yeah, Naz has been rejecting. Boss Pops, you like the buyers or too choppy? Look, I believe they make sense, because again, what we've done at resistance and the Asian range high, the daily high, is we're triggering sellers. So if we were to close back above, then what that suggests to me is we'll trap those sellers. And there's a high probability that if the following candle create a lower wick, tap it back in, rejecting the Asian range high, it's going to push bullish. So I did mention that before. Okay, using just M15, that 1 hour. I'm using the M15, I'm looking at the 4 hour, looking at the daily, the weekly, the 5 minute. Occasionally look at the 1 hour, occasionally look at the 30. Why? Why do I need to focus on the 1 hour? What I need to do is focus on what works for me. With an 80% win rate since the start of these streams, 129 wins and 33 losses, I think what I do is absolutely fine. So that's why I do it. Oh shit, Franco's already left. All good. Well, Guitar, I really appreciate that you are doing such a great analysis. I received self signals, but I didn't take them blindly. I saw, mate. Yeah, again, I can understand people use signal servers also to learn, perhaps analyze the entry points as to why they might be take the entry. It would be a really good signal service if it actually explained to you why it's looking to take the entry at a certain level. And then you could learn based off that. But otherwise, again, it's just literally probably place the self signal purely because of the level it's at. And it's just going to hold. What's the confirmation? To me, it's looking more like a buy now. Dollar's literally just sunk. But I'm here for the fake out. And this is really eating into my dinner time. But the buys look good. The buys look really good. Has to close above. Dollar sniper, yep. Dollar fake out. Miracle, which platform do you recommend? Connecting 75, Pepperstone. I don't know. I don't connect my broker to MT5. To MT5. I thought. Any trading view? Whatever broker. I mean, my broker's fine. Not sure if it worked for you, but what I use is this one. Not affiliated with them, so I really couldn't care less if you choose to open an account with them. Music, yeah, I cancelled the sell order ages ago. Contemplating buys now, but once again, we'll come down to the following candle. We'll come down to the low wick formation of the new candle, because that would need to be used as the stop loss. And once again, I want it to retest the Asian range high. I want it to begin to pull away from that point. So if it retests, then the option will be valid, the buy stop. Now, what's the highest point of this candle? It needs to leave an upper wick. 4,000.77, so 4,001. We'll create a high though in the next few seconds. Once again, we need a low wick, so it has to close above, and we need a low wick. Then I don't use Blueberry. It's just the message above is who I use. Dean, only 100% accurate signal service is the ones listening to Trump before he tweets. Pretty much. Zach, man, I'm getting really hungry. It's going to take me at least 30 plus minutes to make my bloody dinner as well, so it means I won't be eating until after 8. Things you do for a stream. Alright, needs a low wick. Needs to leave an upper wick, first of all. And the following candle needs to tap in. Oh man. Leaving a wick. Definitely left a wick. Yep, it's left the wick. Needs to retest this zone. Has to retest. Down to the 5 quickly. Not had a retest just yet for 9 closure. This is the first closure above. We need that retest. Alright. We have got it. Buy stops are valid. And I would just use a really small stop loss. I will use the lowest point of this candle. So it is pulling back further. That's alright. Oh. Yep, so 41. Sorry, 4001. That's wrong way. Sorry, guys. Yes, I'm not in yet, guys. Stop loss has to be below the low. And look at this, similar to before looking for the sells, look at it melt. Just a tricky level, that 4K, right on 4K, guys. All right, it's a stop loss now. Wow. Already past 60 pips. You know what, forget this, guys. I'm gonna go make dinner. I just don't like it. For me, I would have really wanted to just to reject this zone and quickly bounce off it. What I've been waiting for now is personally, but at some point I'm gonna have to go make dinner. If this closed weak bearish back above on the 15, then buy stops are valid again on the following candle. If we end up back near the support, preferably below it, now you want to be below this level here, then sell options are going to be valid below that point. That is what I'd be looking at, guys. I just don't like its rejection because the stop loss is going to be huge again, so I need to let it reset. In my opinion, that is what I would be doing. But what I'm going to do right now is go off and make myself some dinner. So guys, apologies, but again, good test of patience, and we definitely spared ourselves some losing entries as well. But yeah, those of you who are interested, that is what I'm looking at if I was to continue. But yeah, guys, I'll be back tomorrow. Should be back tomorrow. 90% chance I'll be back tomorrow. Do have a pretty busy day ahead of me, but I should be okay. But otherwise, guys, trade safe, don't do anything stupid, relax, enjoy, have a good one until tomorrow. Thank you, mate. I'll chat to you a little bit later on. And to everyone else, till tomorrow, have a good one. Bye, team. Cheers.